it's at home, so I think that'll be good. The weather right now, 50-50 rain, as I'm seeing, so that doesn't really, I don't think that's really going to affect them that much because they don't throw the ball that much. The ball could be slippery, but Pumphrey's he doesn't really fumble the ball that much.
They've only had a couple catches from receivers the last couple weeks, right?
Yeah, but they'll use Darnell out of the backfield, and they'll throw it to him, and he does a really good job receiving. I mean, if Utah State can figure out a way to slow him down and actually get going on offense, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm not expecting what happened last year to happen again. I'm not expecting that. Negatives, I think the spread's -6, San Diego State. I think that's probably about right. I don't think I don't see it. I don't know. It's a really tough game because San Diego State, everybody knows it follows the Mountain West. They always have those games, those letdown games, and they got a really good thing going right now. I don't think they're going to come in and necessarily have a letdown game, but we got to figure out a way to get some turnovers. We haven't got a turnover since the Arkansas State game. The defense needs to force some turnovers, and we got to win that battle. We can't. We've been doing a good job of not turning it over lately, but we haven't been getting any, and we need to figure out how to get some turnovers.
And really, it seems like the exact opposite of what happened last year. It couldn't be any more different of circumstances because Utah State was on a high after Boise State, but also they had some injuries, so it was kind of a weird dynamic. They were going in with quite a bit of expectations, and now they were in the driver's seat for the Mountain West Mountain Division. So it was really interesting. The dynamic last year was San Diego State was like, no, we're the top dog. We're gonna knock these guys off, and we're gonna show how good we are, and we're at home. And Utah State, at least they should have the mentality of, what, this is our house. We're gonna win. We got to win all of our games. We're gonna win out. We're gonna be the more aggressive physical team and take it to San Diego State. So hopefully that'll be the mindset that the Utah State comes in with is opposite of last year. They're gonna have nothing to lose and everything to gain and just come out the more hungry team.
Yeah, I agree with that. We were pretty banged up for that game too, defensively going into it, and I don't foresee Levitt being back this week. But obviously Travis was out last year, the whole year, and David Moala didn't play that game. So it's going to look a lot different this year, I think. Obviously our defense is different because we lost a lot of guys to the NFL and people graduating and such, but I think it'll be more surprising than people think. I think we'll be right there, right there with them. But moving forward after that, if that doesn't go our way, sitting at 3-4, traveling to Wyoming, they got a good thing going right now. That's not going to be as easy, and I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Right. I think that's going to be a lot tougher game than everybody expected, and I'm not saying I told you so, but I'm going to say I told you so.
You told us.
I told you. They're just a lot better than a lot of people thought they were going to be. Stud running back. Their offensive line, I mean, when we went and watched them a couple years ago there in Laramie, we commented to each other, just like their offensive line, they're just nasty. I mean, they get after you. They're big, they're physical, they're not finesse whatsoever. They just line up and they just smack you, So that's going to be a tough game, but it's a very winnable game. And the Aggies, to get bowl eligible, they got to get that game. So, I mean, obviously the 3 games that you got to get are Wyoming, if this week doesn't go well, you got to get Wyoming, Nevada, and New Mexico at home, and then BYU is just BYU, whatever. I mean, that doesn't really count towards conference, but it counts because it's your overall record. Trying to get bowl eligible. So, I still think bowl eligibility is a very, very good possibility. I know a lot of people don't like the thought of going back to Boise, but honestly, I'd take any bowl game right now. Just the way those 3 games shook out for the Aggies. They just didn't a play here and a play there. They just didn't go our way, or a call here and a call there. But I honestly think, and I thought after that Colorado State one with a bye, that they could, get some things ironed out and, kind of go on a little roll. And I still believe that they can and they will. They will do that. A lot of these younger guys are growing up and they're not freshmen anymore. They've played enough, football that they know what their role is in the team, and they just need to keep contributing like they have been. And the receivers are doing a lot better job, I think. And that's what a lot of people got to understand, in my opinion. Last year's team, the expectations this year were crazy high by some people. And, I mean, we lost, 4 of our leading receivers, was it? 3 or 4? You lose 4 guys, your linebackers, the NFL. I mean, Utah State is not a program that just reloads like Ohio State or Alabama or even Boise. We're not there yet. They're working at it, and the depth's getting better, but it's just not there yet when you lose that quality of player to, attrition, to graduation, or leaving early to go to the NFL. We're just not quite there yet.
And honestly, that's why I look at, this podcast, or me or you, as just being pretty much realists. We're not being negative or doubters by saying, there are, a lot of times we're tempering kind of expectations as well. So, it's not unrealistic, though, at the same time, even with a younger team and this team and this talent. One of the reasons why, I did have pretty high expectations, a little bit higher than where they're at, is because they do have talent. I look at this team and they do have talent. I do believe in the talent of the players. So that's what's frustrating is if the difference is play calling, or the little difference, or little maybe little problem, or whatever you want to call it, is whether it's coaching or reffing or whatever, that's frustrating, because I feel like this team has so much potential, and this team does have talent. There's no reason this team can't be a good team, a bowl team, a team that does well this year. So I'm still holding out hope for a bowl game. Absolutely. What would, I guess that would be minimum all wins except San Diego State and BYU, or would they be able to lose one more? I guess it depends on if you have to have 6 or 7 wins, but
yeah, I think they got to get 3 of their last 5 for sure.
Right. So they can only lose 2 games. So yeah, this game, and I've said it from the beginning, is got to take care of business at home, because it's not easy to win on the road. It's not easy to win at Colorado State, and it's not easy to win at Boise State. Obviously, we've seen that. It's not easy to win at BYU. It's not, these road games are not going to be easy. Even Nevada might be a tougher game than last year, for example, at Nevada. So it's, all these games are not easy, and it is close. The difference between winning and losing is not huge. The difference between talent of Colorado State and Utah State is not big. It's the talent is close. The talent level of Wyoming and Utah State is not that different. So these games are going to be huge. Same thing with San Diego State. The difference in talent isn't a huge gap. So, Utah State going into this game, I think, that I don't think I'm not going to, state the obvious and say, oh, all we have to do is stop DJ Pumphrey. By the way, they kept saying DJ Pumphrey in the press conference, so I'm going to start calling him DJ Pumphrey, Darnell Pumphrey. So it's like we're tight. It's like I know him personally or something. So anyway, DJ Pumphrey, he, Utah State's gotta stop DJ, and they gotta stop the run. But no, that's obvious. We're not. That's not really saying anything. But um, I think this game is absolutely winnable. The Aggies need to come into this game, in my opinion, and say, you know what, this is a good defense, but we're gonna find a way to score 30 points plus. We're gonna come in and we're gonna get to 28. We're gonna get to 30 points. We're gonna be the first team to win to score, 4 touchdowns or whatever. We're gonna make it happen. So we just, absolutely they need to come in and make it happen on offense. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion. I mean, there's little details, and Seth already touched on some of that. Obviously, if you can make San Diego State one-dimensional and third and long and try to throw the ball, you're gonna win the game. You're gonna be set. But
I
at the
mean, let's
same
face
time,
it,
the
it's
offense the offense has got to come out and score some points too. So
yeah, and I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is going to be the best running back they've seen all year. He was probably the best running back they saw all last year.
yep.
And I mean, the guy, everybody knows him. It seems like he's been at San Diego State for 10 years now, but he's 100 and 80 pounds, listed at 180 pounds. I don't even think he's 180 pounds,
Yeah.
but he runs like he runs like he's 220, 230. I mean, he's a tough dude, and he can carry it 30, 35 times a game, and he just doesn't seem to slow down. He's very durable for the size of guy he is, and he's very tough. And, the Aggie, I mean, they faced him last year. They know what they're up against, and Utah State's just got to come out and match their physicalness or go beyond it, and just they got to play nasty. It's got to be, they got to make it a nasty game. They really do, in my opinion. It's just got to be it. I think it's going to be chippy because they're going to have a chip on their shoulder because they got handled last year, and it should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it does rain and snow or whatever. I don't care. I'll be there.
And the thing is the Aggies have got to play their game, and just like last game against Fresno State, they've got to be able to run and pass. Obviously, if San Diego State's playing like Fresno is playing with no safeties, they're playing zero coverage. The safeties were at the line of scrimmage. They got to take advantage of it. They got to throw it deep to Tarver and Roberts and Rayshad and take advantage of it. So I think Utah State's gotta they can't just come out, and I know they won't, because they got to throw their bubble screens and stuff, but they're not going to come out and just try to beat San Diego State at their own game. I get that, but to a certain extent they've got to mix things up and take advantage of what San Diego State maybe is giving them. That's the bottom line. So, same thing. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, Utah State has to throw the ball. I don't. I think one of the problems with the Air Force game, for example, is they got too set on, oh well, we have to throw the ball, so we're going to throw the ball. Well, you know what? When Air Force saw that the Aggies were throwing the ball every time, they came out and they rush the passer, and they hit Myers, and they made Myers fumble, and they recovered a fumble, and so that the last thing I want against San Diego State, the last thing that's gonna work is to